I'm putting the picture so that you see for yourself that I can stand with a paratrooper and in an environment where Trump has come. And I tell them, yes, I'm rooting for him. And they laugh. Yes, it's a duty of the soldiers to protect everyone. Every person must feel safe. No matter Ugandans, this is up to you. The ball is in your hands. The ball is in your hands. If you are protecting the gains, come out and tell us what the gains look like. If you have a share in Kampala, come and tell us what share you have in Kampala. If you have a share in gold, come and tell us what share you have in gold. Why should we be classified as a third world country with the resources, if not the poor politics? And we should be many online. Why do people think that we are sacrificing to be online? Me, I've been online ever since 2008. 2008. I have never left. And one of the things I tell people right now that I can't even afford to be offline. If I've lost Uganda, then I must make America. But if you're a young man without a future, stick out a little. Stick your head out. Nothing's coming on a silver platter for you. Hence, my appeal to young people, telling you that whoever goes into that leadership, whoever goes into that leadership, the demand for services must be universal. Can't we just start reading? Uganda has gold worth 12 trillion US dollars. There was this young lady. I don't know whether she's a lady. I liked her profile. I looked at it. I cover my head and not my brain. She's called Fatuma. She covers her head. I think she has I don't know what they call it, a veil on her head, but she covers her head, but not her brains. Also have minds, which means brains. Are you aware I am? Doesn't even worry that Uganda has oil, because for them the oil, the fuel is extracted from maize. Our amount of maize grows Iowa. That goal will change agriculture, that goal will change the politics, that goal will change education, that goal will change health. If we have brains. That goal should give us the best election. Because we can afford not to be bribed. We can afford to organize an election because the cost is manageable. Because we have gold. We can afford to make Uganda better. I see buses picking children here from every direction. Then you ask yourself, where did these people get money for these buses? And the answer is in maize. And then we have gold. We don't have an answer? Anyway. Crystal, I usually end up telling you that I'm going to fish. I'm going fishing. This is the kind of life I require in the next Uganda. That James comes and even his free time, he goes to fish. Where did I find fishing? In America. And you all know that all the lakes, all the rivers of the world start from Africa and start from Uganda. Almost. The river Nile starts from Lake Victoria for 3,000 something kilometers up to the Mediterranean Sea. No river carries more water than, is it this river in Congo? And they're all connected to our rivers. And only James can only find a fishing opportunity in the US. Fishing is not rocket science. Fishing is going to buy worms at $5, then carry a hook, put a worm on the hook and I go to the water. Yes, I have a fishing license, which is also $27 for a whole year. Why can't Uganda have a fishing license? Fishing is even a sport here, where schools can go to the water to fish. A fishing club of the school goes to fish. And we have all the waters of the world where we only kill citizens. You go to Basoga, the Basoga will tell you that we are killed in the water. Go to Samia, where I come from, the Samia are telling you they're even using sniffer dogs. How can we be such people? The next thing you hear that Muhoza has signed a bilateral agreement with China on the military, for the military. Then ask yourself as Ugandans, this army is going to fight where? Are we going to fight the USS? Are we going to fight Russia? Or you sign a bilateral agreement with China to suppress the 50 million poor people you have? Would you might have gone fishing?
Self-done doctor. Fish for me also doctor. eno Uganda obuzibu bw'okufugibwa omugwira because our leaders are falling but not them because they don't care. In Uganda when they find you fishing they just kill you immediately. Bagala kuwoza. This is Uganda. Martin Joy. Is Martin still there? Oh, he was still busy somewhere. Come if anyone wants to handle this after you can ask for the mic. That's something. Don't blocking anyone. Because we are all suffering the same. One Uganda, all suffer. Oh, so. Time is now to run. Kukana kasela tu. Yena tusobora. Together we can, me and you. Tuga tema logo zega. Pesa wasija la system. Ate no government yetu. Tuga ya kasela wabi ila to know. That's a kuti. Because they know. Tema ina mali. But we know. Like want to settle the young. Maybe we can't. Yes, we can. We can say that. The fact when you banga. But in the journey. In case you want to say something, so we're moving that. Zembeza, nalinga kubera yangu. Whatever you do on a daily basis, no matter what panel you report.
Crystal, okay.
No, not unless.
Kale, just move your car.
Go on.
First of all, webale nnyo kwasaganya, and once again, to continue pushing what we're supposed to do as a people. Earlier on, I think it was Dr. James who hinted on something, and it was quite a bit significant, and where he actually asked, why as a people, why do we always allow these guys to give us the pace to set the notion, and we are always the people turning the other way around, turning the other cheek, and eventually it's something that perhaps is going to cost us a lot. And as a people, if we don't rise up, if we don't do or see what the Nepal people did, then we'll face a lot of challenges on dismantling this regime that is actually trying itself for the family rule. And I think we as a people, sometimes we've reached a level where we are tolerating evil, we are tolerating the bad, because it has ever happened to us, and we are somehow okay with it. It's the reason why you see someone being abducted broad daylight, and then people watch and business goes on. The other day, a deputy spokesperson was kidnapped, and somehow, like we've reached a level of tolerating too much. They're picking one by one, forgetting that the more we give chance to this rogue regime to continue with certain acts, we forget that one by one they are coming for everyone. And then if we don't liberate ourselves, there will come a time and perhaps we will need the huge numbers as a people to rise up, but then it might be too late. This is a Machiavelli system. Whatever they are doing, they know their moves. They are doing it deliberately. Are we 2 steps in front, or we are 2 steps backwards? Crystal, I yield the mic back to you.
Oh, indeed. Badly. You know, then you don't have a piece of the thing that you nothing has changed. So it means time is now to
Christo, are you there? I can't seem to hear anything. Lukanga, are you there? Gosh. Okay. I can't seem to hear anything, and I can't seem to see Christo. Justice Support, are you there? Okay, it looks like I lost my co-host. Justice Supporter, you're welcome. You can take on the mic.
Yes, hello, Moji. Thanks for the push, Mike. Thanks for the push. I think everything has been said, Moji. Yes, Ugandans know what we need to do. This regime is absolutely naked. Moji, it's just regurgitating what has just been said. You know, there's no other way of us making any more excuses. These guys have shown themselves what they're. I mean, they're not a legitimate government in the first place. The actions they're doing, everything they're doing, they're just showing themselves that. And Ugandans, I don't know what next will cultivate Ugandans to actually get out on the street, because that's the only way. I mean, peacefully, we just need the numbers. We just need the numbers peacefully, and just go to the streets and just claim enough is enough. But then again, they could always start slowly. I mean, for instance, you got all these rallies of these NRM supporters. I mean, that should be the start. That should be the practicing sort of, the start of it to galvanize Ugandans. I mean, any rallies organized with these NRM guns and supporters, they ought to be shunned. They ought to, like the people in Busoga did when the guy spoke up to talk. I mean, they shunned him and they shut him down, and he had to come off stage. We need to gradually build this thing up. You know, just do not, as they stopping NUP from going around their business, Ugandans need to get a lesson out of that. Every time these NRM supporters, apologists get out on stage or anywhere, any rallies, don't turn up, or if you've turned up, just talk over them, just to show them that you disagree with any message that is trying to get out there. You know? I mean, it's all been said and done, Moji, from time and time again. Ugandans just need to literally, bite the bullet and get up and just do the right thing, you know? In diaspora can do their bit. I mean, we need to up our ante, just protesting whenever we can. Protest and funding the revolution. I think those are our main goals, really, you know, but protesting. I know in London there's a protest next Saturday, and we've had some consistent protests going on. And I even suggested that the protest should not just be at the embassies or places like that. I think we should target these people, like the ambassadors and the high commissioners representing Uganda at their residence place, home residence. We should target that. Just go at their residence. I mean, in Europe or in the Western world, people are really, really grieved when you cause a nuisance at their homes of residence. So let's make these guys uncomfortable, because at the end of the day, they do so much dirty back in Uganda, and then they escape to Europe or America, and then they live like kings. I think the target should be to just target them at their residence where they think that they've left it all behind, and remind them of it. Amoji, I've since requested, these guys, they've got families in Europe, in America, in the UK. I think we just need a consistency of people that can actually plaster their daughters, their sons, what school they go to, what university they go to, and people in the diaspora galvanize themselves and just turn up at these people's schools, shame them. And eventually, once there is a push in Europe where they think they've got safe haven, they will think twice, because they realize that they will have nowhere to go. They've got nowhere to hide. So I really think that is a strategy that could work. And you start pushing the dictator to think again, and even to make them feel uneasy when they escape Uganda, because they leave Uganda in a terrible state. I mean, like that guy that went to the UK for an operation, a back operation, and he was staying in one of the most expensive hotels. And what happened? Ugandans turned up, they protested outside a very posh hotel, and they had to literally whisk him away. And he was shamed. And I heard that he came back to Uganda and he opened up a church. But I bet he will never, if he is to go.
Exactly. I think it was the former Amama Mbabazi. There's Amama Mbabazi and also Sam Kahamba Kutesa, who came up and opened up a church this side.
Yes, I know. I am one of those, but you could see that the way he got whisked away, it was shame. And even, I think the Ugandans were caught unaware, because they should have followed that up and chased him wherever he went. And then you had that other business. There was a business forum. What was that, about a week ago? And that guy, that Sudil guy, turned up in London. And Ugandans actually, they shouted at him, and he was so ashamed that he walked off so quick. I think these people now, he comes out. If only Ugandans knew where his residence was, and literally start protesting outside his own home residence, those guys will be on a run every time they come to Europe. But they do so much dirty in Uganda, and they know they're untouchable. And then when they come to Europe, they're living their life because they're left alone. They look at it, we've left it all behind, so let's just enjoy our money. Now, that money they've got made, Ugandans are everywhere. We can hunt these guys down. Their children, plaster them on the internet so that we know, because these are the people that you walk past on the street, but because you don't know who they are, and they get away with it. So plaster them on the internet so that we know where the people are. And if you can even better, if you can find out what universities they go to, yes, that would be great. Because those children will go back to their parents and say, Dad, you're making life miserable for us. Where you've sent us. In Canada, yes, we can protest, we can go after them even there. Do you know? So I really think there's so much that diaspora can do to unsettle these guys that create a lot of havoc in Uganda, and they just come to the diaspora to enjoy our Ugandans' money. Yes, I reckon if that can be done, plaster them everywhere, so that people get to know these guys will think twice. These guys will not eat their money safely. These guys will start spending money in Uganda. Yes, maybe they want them to have any money there, but the president said we can't let them enjoy their loot in peace. No. Let them feel the heat as they put the heat on the people back home. Moji, and with those words, I know there's a lot to say, but it's just regurgitating the anger. So I'll put it back to you, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Supporter, for that. And you really raised a very, very fundamental and pertinent issue in regards regarding these people's families. I think sometimes our people, especially from our side, you find some people, I don't know if it's deliberate, have a lot of empathy. You see, those are their families, let's not involve them. And then you're like, these guys are abducting our people. And now you're being lenient and you're saying that, don't bring in their families. They are not supposed to be involved. So you realize that even within us, we still have people who are a bit lenient to the devil. And perhaps even who don't want to even give out the information about some of these people. They study in schools you least expect them to be in. They're in the UK, they're in the US and all that. Their grandkids are all over Europe. And you realize certain Ugandans have that information. And yet they talk of being in the struggle, in the revolution. But then when it comes to that, they're a bit lenient. And so I think we must develop that central nervous system where we feel the pain of all Ugandans that are going through a lot. And call out some of these people. If you know where they study from, where they hang out from, please just give it out. It will help add on the revolution a big step forward. You don't need to start saying, you see the problem, by involving is the dictator really minding about that while he's kidnapping our people? Is he minding about their families? Is he minding about their safety, whether they've eaten, whether they've... No. Then why are you so lenient with the dictator's family? And you're not lenient with your own. So I think as people, yes, in the diaspora, please continue to give out information. And thank you so much, the team in the UK that constantly does these protests. Please do not get tired. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. And then also at home, we have to continue amplifying the voice, even where it feels like we can't push any further. We need to keep pushing. That's how revolutions are. There are always those rise. There are always those low moments, but you have to push on. And the more we keep strong, the more we continue to sensitize, mobilize, organize, we create a huge chain that will enable the success of the struggle, the success of the revolution. The other day I was somewhere, and to see how the revolution is strong in the areas of West Nile, I think we just need to really tap into the energy that this is a ripe revolution. It's very ripe. Let's not misuse this opportunity. What I mean by ripe is the people want change, not just political seats for MPs, for what? We, the people want change. The people are more into the revolution than just actually. So we need to create that gap between politicians so that they speak the same language with the people. Because you really did realize there's that disconnect with politicians seeking for seats and the people on the ground that want a revolution, that want the liberation. There are lots of things happening. And this is a regime you should expect anything to happen. Let's organize. Let's agitate. Let's carry on, even when it feels hard. Let's carry on. And let's not give up. If you have information about the dictator's whereabouts of his family, for the purposes of the comrades that are languishing in jail for close to 5 years now, for the purposes of the comrades whose families have not seen them for close to 5 years now, the 18 missing Ugandans, the purposes of the comrades that are tortured every day, I think it would be prudent enough to really give out that information for those that can use it at the international scene to expose the dictator. If it's their family, please give it out. Stop being lenient with the dictator. The dictator is not lenient with us. So, a lot is happening. A lot will be happening. We are headed for times where they are going to be dismantling. Yesterday, we tried to have a space almost 4 times, 5 times, and we were unable. These are not normal times. These are abnormal times, and a lot is going to happen more and more. Do not be shocked even when the internet is also switched off. But like I always say, what is our way forward? What is our next move? We must be 2 steps ahead of the dictator. In all things. We must be 2 steps ahead. That's how we will overwhelm him. Everything present is just all right for us. An opportunity comes once in a lifetime, but it comes for those and to those that are prepared. How prepared are we as a people? Are we taking this opportunity serious? Or we are going to let other people misuse it for us, and that will be a golden chance lost. So let's continue. Everything they are doing, it is not by coincidence, it is by design. Do not even be shocked on Wednesday when again they create other situations that hinder people from joining the rallies. What is the way forward? Our way forward. Thank you. Guys, feel free to request for the mic. My co-host Crystal dropped off. I wasn't able to hear her. So, yeah, feel free. It's a revolutionary space, and your ideas matter a lot. It's going to be nominated, and the spark can happen anywhere, anytime.
My brother Bobi Martin.
Yes, please comment.
My brother Bobi Martin. If you see the American embassy issuing a statement as Apizel read, for example, releasing a statement, not a precaution, but reading as follows: security alert for American citizens. The Uganda Electoral Commission is holding nominations for presidential candidates on September 23rd and 24th. There will be rolling road closures throughout Kampala on these 2 days, as well as checkpoints, barriers, and increased police and security presence to manage crowds. And then they put something: action to take. Monitor local media for updates. Avoid crowds and demonstrations. Keep a low profile. Notify friends and family of your safety. Be aware of your surroundings. Review your personal security plans. Carry proper identifications, including a US passport with a current Ugandan visa. What does it entail to you?
Well, with a country like the US coming out with all that advisory statement to its citizen, then it shows they have prior information of what's coming. Of course, they gather information through intelligence, through various security agencies. So it means there is a lot that the US, perhaps through its agencies, is preparing for and is in the know about. I earlier on said that, how do we use this to our advantage? It shows, one, that the international community is watching. And so if we have the eyes of the international community on our radar, then how do we utilize that to our advantage and continue to even expand more and more. One, we continue to, if it's a revolutionary spark, if it's to the street, we have to make sure that we hold them until, if we want the Nepal way, still, we should stop being okay, if we want this, but then you see this, no. We must have a side to choose. The Nepal people chose to stand with themselves as a people. So as a people, we must also choose to stand for ourselves and know when the red lines are crossed and how to encourage each other. We must have that. The international community is watching. We must use it to our advantage in all capacities. Back to you, Mugisha. It looks like Mugi has dropped off. I don't know if it's happening on my side alone. Lukanga, are you there? Can you hear me?
Muji Martin, are you there?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Have you seen what they have done?
No, comrade. Go on.
Yeah, no, I was just asking because someone dropped me, but regardless, you're saying something. With such security alerts, my sister Lukanga, what do you think? And my brother Muji Martin, seeing the PRU trying to concoct that they have made an agreement with NRM, what do you think as you?
I think POE is just, there's nothing like NRM. It is POE, or POU, or PO what running the show. NRM is just a bus. Actually, those people should even wake up that thing is no more there. The father is using it as a way in which the son will capture power within its ranks, and it's happening. So the PLU members are the ones running the shots, and therefore, like all these things happening, there is something sinister that is likely to happen. There is a coup that is going to happen from within. The sun goes and moves around like a head of state.
Thank you very much. That's where I wanted you. And then on the nomination, they tell you that the group of PRU is one of the groups that is going to escort him to the nomination. Not putting into consideration the Maos who are already saying they are ready to support him. That shows you that they have already shared their route even before. That who will be up there, sorry, who will be in the middle, and who will be down. And we Ugandans, we are not in that equation. Go on, Muji Martin.
And thank you, comrade, for that. It's sad that we see these things, but we try to ignore them. We always give them a contempt card. It can't happen. It can't happen. That's how the UPDF Act has managed. We talked about it, and some of our own people were saying, no, that can't happen. That can't happen. You see, the law says this. And with time, the UPDF Act was passed. And our comrades who were under the military and still today being charged still under that same tribunal. So in Uganda, when we say that there is something sinister that is being planned, please, people, do not ignore. When we say please, the teams in the diaspora that keep protesting, and for those that have information of where these people's children are, their relatives, their grandchildren, please provide it. Because it helps a lot. When the dictator's family is exposed, it makes the world know that, okay, they also study from here, they eat from here. Let the message also reach their inner circles. Comrades, something sinister is coming. Let's be 2 steps ahead. Let's be 2 steps ahead. I yield the mic.
Martin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, comrade.
When you say let's be 2 steps ahead, this one is for all of us, the young, the old, the elder, all of us. And do not wait to be told. Do not wait to be told. If you want that leader to be in power as the commander-in-chief, do not allow him to tell you what to do. Because whatever that will be happening, it will be on Museveni and his son. So, you who's going to sit there and wait for, apartheid to bully the let us save him. Let us protect him. If we really, really mean that he's the leader we are choosing. When they tell Pilau, I don't know that thing of theirs, Pilau. Then you ask yourself, who are they? And what are they going to do? You know? Then you who's going to back you up? So you are Uganda, like a comrade Mugisha put it. You are Uganda and you're not in their equation and you're not there. And you will not be there forever and ever. We know where Byabakama is. We are insist. Tumanyi Byabakama n'abantu be gye babeera. Bw'abaga Byabakama talumirirwa abantu be. Then talina nsonga lwaki abaatulumirirwa. Naye bw'aba ng'alumirirwa abantu be. Then he's supposed to do the right thing. But he's not going to do that right thing if we tetumugambye ffe kennyini nnyini okumuteekawo tumulagira ekyo ky'ekyokukola. Bwe baateeka Kenya bagiyita batya? IBC. Ekikulu bwe batugamba these things tugamba we are not Kenyans. So who are we? Tuli bannayuganda abatategeera. Tuli bannayuganda abaagala ebyobwereere. Tuli bannayuganda abatalaba nti emyaka 10 egijja mu maaso. Can we reverse and see how Uganda was before Museveni came in? Newe yajira. N'agenda ng'asanyawo ebintu mpola. Can you compare the Uganda of maybe 20 years ago and the Uganda of today? The Uganda of today would have been much, much better with the level of how the world is moving, with the technology, with the everything. Naye olaba tujulira Uganda eri enkadde, eri nga tannaba kujja mu buyinza. Uganda eri eyani olaba gye tujulira ate ekifo ky'okugamba nti kati abantu train. I mean, look at the technology. Naye tujulira analog. Ugandans. 2 steps ahead nga ffe tubagamba naffe batambulireko okugundiza ffe. Okay, baba warning American citizens kati gwe munnayuganda gwe munnayuganda okwogera kola. Are you part of the country oba nedda? Nti American citizens bannange kino na kino gwate gwe ogenda kugirinnya ennyonyi oba kakati yessaawa bannange yessaawa Kampala oba bamuzinzeeko mwabali mu outside Kampala kiki ate mwe mulina bubi nnyo. Spaces zandibadde zigenda mu maaso online offline zonna banaye bagenda kutukwatira omukulembeze waffe gwe twagala banominatinge bamutwale mu kabanga gaabwe batugali bagamba ali nominated afulume bamuteeke mu kabanga likabe bamuze emagere. Really? Are we we don't see that happening. And tumanyi okwekaza it can't be kale kijja kubaawo. It will be because we have allowed it to be with our seriousness, with our calmness, the way we take things for granted, the way we just laugh it off because that is Uganda. Omusajja mwana ayagala anaagenda. Okay, akuganga ina project. Do you know what the project is? Imagine, I have some few projects to finish. Of which you already know God has given you that wisdom of
project gy'abagamba bagiyita Demohozi project.
Okitegeera? Akibagambe n'okukibagamba. Just mobile kino kyokka ekisanya nina project gye njagala okumaliriza. So wanaona kimali mmwe bannange Ugandans. Kimanyi bangi batuwulira. Comrade Mugisha was like, muli eyo mulimbu salamu. Fine. Kale, if you have recorded, before you send it, listen, sit down, listen to that recording you have recorded, listen, and then think about it. Katomano gambe naye lindako. omuntu ono bw'aba agamba nti twetaaga okukyusa eggwanga kigasaani oli ono gwendi okukisindikira oba nze wootunule kale katugambe olina woopangisa ogambe ndikupangisa siri ndikupangisa naye kubanga sente zino ze bampa then omale ofuwandinge because that is what your brain kyeri okugamba kyekyo ky'osobola okukola ekyamagezi ennyo ky'osobola okukolera Uganda yo kubanga bakugambye nti we deserve better olina kugamba nze nedda nze okufuna kugamba buno ku muwogo nina okuteeka ntereko I have to put salt kati bwe naateekako salt terijja kuwooma nze nedda nze nkyagala nga bweki okay ate ng'oli akugambye nti bw'oteekako amunyu it is going to taste even much better naye bw'owulira nga so ladies and gentlemen nga get out nga mutuwuliriza nga mu recordinga ekyo bijjaniyazi from now nga bekale bannange bankozesanga nalicordinganga nga abaana baagala enkyukakyuka nga nze ngamba nedda bino byonna byabaawo nga ndaba nga abaana bakutunula bagambe taata kiki ekyabaawo nti ate munnange amanyi musajja yatubuzaabuza teyababuzaabuza wabula obwongo bwammwe mwasalawo okukozesa oba embuto I don't know what I can say sina mbuto kubanga n'olubuto bwe lugaana ekintu luba lukigaanye. As you are listening to the few people, individuals here, as you are judging them, please don't forget to makuru. Naye ng'obitwala ebigambo ebyo. Sigamba nti bali kuwaayiriza. Because whatever they are saying, whatever we are saying, naawe obirabye naye ogaanye okukikkiriza nti kyekyo bwekino bwekiri. Imagine the person you want. There was, I think, was it on TikTok? The person said, Mr. President, at this time, trust no one. At this moment, trust no one apart from yourself. Era when the president was speaking the other day, yakugamba oli ku lulwo. You're on your own. Era nga naffe tugamba, we are on our own. I can't imagine that I can go to Kenya and I'm like, Kenya, really? One of between Busia, Kenya, Busia, Uganda. You can't compare the immigration and our journalist has filmed. If you have ever gone to Malaba or Busia, their immigration and ours, just crossing on Okuvano Nawali. You people. And I'm like, hey, this is the country I am in over. With all the resources, with all the monies that they're splashing left, right, and center, all the monies that you're using to abduct citizens. And this is, you can't even be ashamed. And then you're like, Uganda is okay. Okay. But if you're 25, you are 30, 35, 40, 10 years from now, where was the Uganda again? Akubeereta bwesigala nga bweri. Era bwe tukkiriza negenda nga bweri. Tugenda kuba tutya at the moment. If we leave it, tewagenda kubaayo muntu mulala agenda kujja abeere ng'ono omukulembeze Katonda gwe yatuwadde. Is not yet born. And by the time that person is born, tujja kuba tetukyaliwo. Nga ne betuzadde, nabo bali vagabonds. Ingaffe ntiwawulya gyagamba I am not. No, you are. Because there was no way we can have a country. Uganda, no Misai, no buvubuka, the youthhood, the energy, ne tulemerwa okukaminga together ne tugamba ekimala kimala. Nepal, kati wuyo Philippines, where fe tuli awo tubaza tuwesonesa bajje beyazike ku basirikale ba Uganda. We say it proudly. Very, very proud. Because we see what they're doing. It's very, very wrong. Nga batwala abakulembeze mu helicopter, but they're hanging on that if the guy who's taking them also decides to say, you know what, nange kambasule one, that will be the end of them. And like, no, vitimba kuba wherever, but guys, batukubye mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, financially. Financially. Do you know what it means being tortured physically, mentally, psychologically? Financially. Oh, we don't consider those as sufferings. Nti nakataka ne mutunda ne babasuwaza ne mutunda amataka bo ne bajja ne bagagula mu ne mwabakula boda ne bajja ne bazibajjako ne musigala nye tochada yeri neno bifunze kati no sigala kusabiriza komedi mugisha njagala kumulira constitution oba Museveni asigaza obuyinza bonna we supposed to be in charge after charge na kwera nominated as they are going to nominate Museveni, as he's going to be given all the rights. For us, you're not going to be given any right. But again, if they are 100% right, you know why? For them, they need the power and they want to retain it, so they cannot give you a level ground to unseat them. It's like, okay, let it put it in a layman's understanding, daily lives. Muzanya ne opponent wo. Oyinenge jogenda okuleka opponent wa scoring. Yeah? Togenda ogenda kufuba olabe kyonna kyonna ekisoboka. So kati ya Museveni. But as your opponent na yafa, not finding a way on how to make sure he scores you. So even as we have to find the avenue of making a statement. Not once, not twice, but making a statement that Uganda, here we are, let's go. Now tugenda gamba bwetu kasita abadde nominated. Now this is us. Kasita bamunominate nze. Bamuzize waka ali safe kigwe. Campaigns zitandike. Batuganye tusuze wano olwaleero katulinde. Ate batuganye okulonda. Ku ballot paper omukulembeze waffe taliiko. It was an error. Byabakama. How can you say that was an error? Proudly. Yeah? An error. Eggwanga lyagenda okulonda n'ogamba that was an error? Can you reverse it? Can you? So these are some of the things we need to look at and we don't take them lightly. Gabogambye Comrade Mugisha. Basalawo ne balonda dda. Era bajja bagamba munnange Museveni twamulangirira mutamanya naye mugende muwabe mu kooti. Si kyekyo? That was an error. But there was no error in telling us if you needed these districts, temwali na signatures is valid. I had Comrade Mugisha say, wasn't Mugisha nti bani abali okulongola emikono if the signatures are real? Police? So how does police get involved in any vetting of signatures of candidates? Is that a role of police or electoral commission? Or electoral commission granted the police permission to go through the signatures to verify if they are right or not? All avenues, like Mr. Mungadi said, all avenues. All. Not tugenda bisekera mwe. We shall laugh it off. It was an error. He's a human being like us. But he cannot make an error on Museveni. And he cannot make an error to announce who the rightful winner as it Angulanyi, but he can announce Museveni. So errors happen on our side when it's our turn, but they cannot happen on the other side. So good luck tomorrow. Oh, it's already morning, Uganda side. If this is what we are going to be doing, temutubuulira naye tulina byogera kubanga tutabyogera temujja kubimanya kati bye twogedde bw'osigala nga weebase nomination ide ng'omukulembeze we bagenda mumujja waka bamuvuge. Amiina.
Hello, members. We're sorry for being late. Bagezezako to stop the space, but here we are. Please share with other members. This is a night shift. We are here to speak. I think in the United States, it's a morning, I believe. Guys, my sister Lukanga and Doctor, you can get the mics because if people see you with mics, they get a message that you're speaking and they can come in. But as we go on, my sister is here, she matters, and Grace is also here, Dr. Mungadi. One information I can't keep that is burning in my head. We spoke last in our previous spaces. If you remember when I was touching about the issues of constitutionalism and how they work in tandem with politics, we talked about pushing the voting of the presidents at the parliament. We left it on the road. But here is the gist of the matter. This election that we are going in matters a lot more than what we all think. When Norbert Mao came out and spilled the beans, it wasn't just spilling beans. Don't you ask yourself where it ended, whereby the matter was even referred to the the Rules Committee of Parliament? Have you ever got time to listen at what came out from the Rules Committee, from the Constitution Committee? What came out? Nothing, absolutely nothing. But here is what you should know. Mao was saying that the dictator always likes people to come and, be in an election to legitimize him and also to be his people who can say, Nanga kalulu nkabadde mweda yakawangudde. Don't you find it weird that they are scrambling for parliamentary positions and local government positions? This is, if you use the litmus paper, this shows you what Mao meant by saying that power will be decided, is going to be decided inside boardrooms. You add the mathematics, try to add the dots. Mao states, I'm not coming. Leave alone after all of them, they will say we are ganging behind Nandala Mafabi as a kickback. Ask yourself why the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among, has become a powerhouse in the smallest time. Because they know and they are planning for the next president after this election should be decided through the parliamentary system. And they are these people who are saying, so that this unleashes a bigger scheme. And it is incumbent to us Ugandans to stop it. Their plans are still going on to see that because they tried and they saw that Ugandans were alert. We told Ugandans that they want to take away your power, your constitutional power. And they decided to work underground. They haven't stopped. It should be one of the messages as we head to the protest vote that these people are planning to take your power. So I had to open that Pandora box. Dr. Mungadi, how are you?
I'm good. Just about to leave the house and it's a weekend. I need to go and look for some fish for my kids. But I've been listening to. I was on space first of all for African women. That one is gone. But then there's a tweet. You know me when I sleep. I wake up in the morning maybe at around 3 a.m. That's when I start. That's usually my usual time to go to work. So I look at spaces and then I'm like, free Kaija Doreen. Actually, I was challenging because I saw the tweet came from Good Girl. And then I'm like, Good Girl, not even a space. You know, when we look at this, right now we're looking at the emotional farewell for Charlie Cook. Look at the stadium capacity field. And people saying what you started is not dying. Is it just lack of mobilization within ourselves? You know, Mugisha, for me, sometimes I see things and I'm like, but why should it be need to see these things all the time? People who haven't been in school, the people who got certificates, Kaija was like a political commissar. You can't even hold a space, talk for this woman together. Mugisha, I challenge you, look for these people. You know, we just a space. How you have been having values imparted to you. You see that arresting of this woman skill at school. Where are the people who passed through the school? I mean, my tweet this morning, of course, was like, I hate waking up in the morning and demonstrating with the men who torture women. And I went ahead and said in that tweet that if this woman surely was running a political school or a school or a private school, and you're talking about empowering women, of course, this is something I've been telling women on the other space. As women, where are you? Why are you so unkind to your kind as women? Just this alone is enough to turn women against this system. I hate seeing the despondency I see. I hate it. This woman, this young woman. The state, do you need to do that to show that you're powerful? What was this woman teaching that can lead her to being arrested? Then, of course, I challenge those people who pass in those not medical school, in those, not political school, the political class. Maybe sometimes we just need to be reminded. If you can remind them just to come together. Some of us can participate in that space just to, as support, but she has been impacting wisdom. So you need a space. That's why I was challenging Good Girl. I said, Good Girl. That was, of course, in the box, and she told me she's busy. But she would think about it. I'm like, hey. You think about it? Doreen Kaija comes from which constituency, which place? Because this is not a good campaign tool for that area. Studying the tides, fasting. Any area that has somebody arrested, mobilize people. I hope you're watching the TV, because if you're watching the burial ceremony for Charles Cook, actually I want to go out, but you know where you feel the shaking of earth. I've been asking myself, who is this man? I didn't know, but he has a foundation, and he was projected to be the next American president, I'm told. So if you listen to what is going on TV, even Trump has gone there. He's going to make a speech. The place is filled to capacity. Such is what should translate to leadership school. Charles Cook has been teaching people. He has been encouraging people to speak. Free speech. Actually, today I have a copy of the Constitution. I'll take a picture and send it to you. And see. He's on the. I didn't know who he was until now. I've seen even the Constitution where he's on the front page of one of the recent American constitutions. But so, Mugisha, Doreen Kaija, who is she? If I ask you, because we didn't know her. But I just got concerned because I'm like, I saw Good Girl make a tweet, because I received tweets. I saw a tweet and I'm like, but it hurts me that you wake up in the morning and you're in a society of men who don't care. That woman, for me, I mean, why did you lock her? Manange tunyigeko. Nda kugamba nti speaking because in the diaspora. Mpuliro mutachi ayogera bwatyo. Mugisha abantu bafushi.
Mateba abalimbye toli mu diaspora.
No, Mugisha wali ebintu ezenagana tekabe mu Uganda. Even Mugisha, I did come to the diaspora. I came boxing. I came here boxing. What the things that can't happen whether I was in America, whether I was in Uganda, they don't happen in my watch. I mean, Mugisha, are you surprised that I'm speaking about this lady? And I'm like, But I saw her from a tweet. I wake up in the morning, I start looking at tweets. Then I see a tweet talking about Kaida Dorina. I'm like, but who was Kaida Dorina? She was one of the instructors in the leadership school. Was it she educating people? So did the education take place? The very question I asked people who are in Balunywa's school moves.
By the way, is Balunya still there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Who's a president?
So Ugandans, please request for the microphone. Speak to us. How ready are you for Tuesday? How ready are you to fight for your country? We know you're in a weekend, but as we stated, we are headed for a war. Today the president was speaking. Let me look for his words here. In a few minutes. Moji Martin, please come in.
In fact, I was asking about do you feel, do you see things that annoy? Do you see things that annoy you like I get annoyed? I keep getting annoyed whenever I'm a distance away. Because Tuesday or Wednesday, anger is one of the things that we are carrying along. We just make sure the anger directs in the right direction, but you must be annoyed to get out on Tuesday. You must be having something pushing you. Some annoying things that you are disgusted over and you want them stopped. I heard nobody was speaking about how money is going to be shared. Nope is not. Then you're like, but Noop has just been collecting money. It is people power. So anybody who has collected the money, anybody who has made a contribution should be annoyed. That person wants results. You don't have to worry about the money that nobody is talking about. Kleptomania. Anyway, Mugisha. Sunday evening.
Okay, thank you very much. I will play this last speech of the president. After I will say a word as Moji Martin comes in.
Mabulira kiguno simu limu kuwange azekango omuntu osobola kulinga lolo leera byonna byokulabirira empute biba tebirina mulamwa singa bakimirire namwe naddala abavubuka binajo okwesimbawo emyaka etaano egiyise owawo nali nsumuseemu ku myaka gy'abavubuka naye nali nkyafaanana ng'omuvubuka era abantu basinze okuleeta obubaka bwe tubawa wa Uganda empya eyagaza buli omu babadde bavubuka bangi nnyo ku bo baatemulwa bangi baabuzibwawo bangi bali makomera myaka etaano n'omusobyo tubasomolwanga awatali musango naye ate kubanga tumanyi kyetukola tekimenya amateeka kitukola tekifuula maaso ga Katonda ne maaso g'empisa zaffe ng'eggwanga tunasigala nga tukola ekyo si lwakuba tetusobola kukola akavuyo nedda abamanyi ku byafaayo byaffe munaye mumanyi nti n'obuganda tubumanyi naye engeri yandika ebigamba nti nali omuto nakolanga ng'abato era bwe nakula kolanga abakulu twasalawo tukole ekyo ekituweesa ekitiibwa maaso g'abakadde baffe maaso g'ekereziya maaso g'amateeka kanene bwe tuba tufudde ne tuka maaso ga Katonda twemirira abantu ogwo confident maaso ga Katonda nga tumanyi kyetwali tukola kyali kituufu mu maaso ga Katonda tetugenda baganda bange tetumanyi bigenda kubaayo tugenda ne bannaffe tumanyi